Namaste and welcome to our first yoga class here on the mat in our beginner series. We will be exploring the fundamental and most important quality for us to have as a yogi, the most important principle for us to practice on our mat, and it has nothing to do with putting your foot behind the head or holding handstand in the middle of the room. It is simply to be open. To have an open mind and an open heart, to be willing to try something new, to learning and growing and expanding and evolving, being willing to see yourself and things differently. This quality of openness is the most important quality we could bring to our practice. And if we could maintain this openness, open-mindedness, and open-heartedness to the flow of life, both when we're on the mat and off the mat, we would be the most extraordinary yogi ever. And it has nothing to do with the physical practice itself. As long as we are maintaining openness in our mind and our heart, being open to wherever the practice takes us, which is really just a metaphor for being open to wherever life takes you, the body will follow. The body will open on its own automatically. So have compassion for yourself, have understanding, have patience for the physical aspect of this, and just focus on staying open to the teachings, to the principles, to where the practice takes you. All right, I encourage you to have a block, especially if you have tight hamstrings. If you don't have one, no big deal. You can always use a water bottle or a pillow or a book or something. Grab something that could bring the floor up a little bit closer to you if you might need it to be there later on. All right, I will meet you in the middle of your mat when you're ready. All right, if you would like to follow along with the playlist, you'll find that link just below the video. Take that link, it'll send you to Spotify. All right, let's press play in 3, 2, and 1. So we're gonna start on our backs. So if you need to roll to a side and come down onto your back, and if it's too much for you to extend your legs out long, that's perfectly fine. That could be uncomfortable for you in your back. So if that's the case, just bend your knees like this and bring your feet flat to the mat. Otherwise, legs are extended nice and long, and then open up your palms, nestle your shoulder blades behind your heart. And yeah, feel free to just adjust a little bit so that you are nice and comfortable. Always, truly seek that place of effort Always seek that place of engagement and relaxation. There's a sweet spot. And that's when we can really be open. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Soften your skin across your entire body. And just take a deep breath. Allow yourself to fully arrive here. The practice of yoga and your mat always receives you. In whatever state you are in, and this is a teaching for us to mimic that we can receive ourselves in whatever state we're in, without judgment, without needing to analyze. That we show up here with an open heart and an open mind. Open to whatever unfolds. We set aside having to analyze or make meaning or assign meaning to whatever happens as we're moving and breathing. We set aside judgment and we leave all of that processing for later. And we come back again and again to the foundation of openness. So take one more breath here. Full breath out. Bend your knees so that your feet are flat and your knees are bent. And just let your knees rock to the left. Take a breath here. And let them shift through center and then over to the other side. And now back and forth at your own pace. So part of how we can represent and symbolize this open-hearted, open-mindedness is by keeping our skin soft. Like we're allowing ourselves to be penetrable by the moment and by the teachings, so that our mind is soft and our heart is soft, which allows things to change and evolve. All right. Feet back to center, kick your leg up to the sky, interlace your hands behind your right thigh. So look at your foot and flex your foot. Make sure the second toe is in line with the center of the ankle and the knee is slightly bent. And this is not so much foot to head, but instead, push your thigh into your foot, or your thigh into your hand, and your hand into your thigh, so that you are getting a stretch in the back of the hamstring without the foot needing to come super close to the head. And just notice if you're starting to become hard, right? And see if you can stay soft. Keep your left foot firmly planted on the mat. Take one more breath. All right, now release your leg in the sky. Point your foot. And now start to extend the leg all the way down, like you're lengthening the leg out of the hip socket. Stretch, 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 and leg to the mat. Beautiful. Now, take your left knee into your chest and just twist. Left knee across, left arm opens up. So notice if the shoulder's way up in the sky or the hand is up in the sky. And instead, bend your left arm and take your shoulder on your back and try to get your shoulder blade down to the mat, and then you'll notice it takes the torque out of the rest of the arm. And see, instead of forcing something to happen here, can you soften into it? Nice job. One more breath. Nice. And as you come back to center, the right foot plants and the left leg opens like this. It's a figure four. So you could stay here, keep the outer left ankle extremely flexed, or start to bring your right knee closer to your chest and interlace your hands behind your right thigh. This is called thread the needle. You may notice sensation in your left knee, okay? If that's the case, chances are your left foot went super soft. So keep it the ankle flexed and never push the joint, okay? So we're not gonna push the knee open. Instead, we're just going to draw the hips in towards one another and start to stretch through the legs, letting them open on their own with breath and stretch. Take one more cycle. All right, both knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. All right, second side. Left leg up, right foot down. Again, flex the foot here, and then it's called a Barbie doll foot. So think of flexing the foot and then pointing, extending through the big toe ball mound. It's called a floint. All right, but it looks like a Barbie doll foot. All right, push your thigh into your hand into your thigh. Pull back, and you'll feel a stretch on your hamstring. And see if you're like overdoing it, over-efforting, okay? Remember, the most important part is that we're just open. And when we push too hard, what do? We close up, we get hard. All right, take one more breath. Now we're gonna point the foot, release the leg, and extend the leg all the way down to the ground. Really good. Now, right knee over to the left, twist. Keep the left leg long, the right knee in line with the right hip. Bring your right hand up into the sky and really try to work the shoulder back, and then extend the right arm down to the ground and twist your left chest over to the right and gaze towards the right. And just be with whatever the shape is, and don't give it too much emphasis or focus. Come back to your breath. This is a fundamental part of the practice. The lips are sealed, and inhale, breathe in through the nose. Lips stay sealed, exhale, breathe out through the nose with a little constriction on the back of the throat. We call this ujjayi. All right, come back to center. Left foot plants, right foot crosses over the left. Keep the ankle very firmly engaged, so flex the foot, and then reach your arms through the hole you created with your legs, and then grab for the back of the left leg. So that ujjayi breath, it's like they say, it sounds like a Darth Vader breath, okay? So the lips are sealed. It really means triumphant breath or oceanic breath. So lips are sealed. And find that constriction in the back of the throat like you're fogging up a mirror. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If this is too much on your legs, you just stay here, okay? One more breath. Knees to chest. It's called happy baby. Reach for the pinky toe sides of the feet. Flex your feet, draw the knees down. Take a deep breath in. All right, big breath out. Here we go. So you can either rock and roll like this, or you press to one side, roll to one side, press up to seated. Cross over the ankle, we go tabletop position. Claw your finger pads into the mat, toes tucked under. So part of openness is always paying attention how we place ourselves on the mat. It's our intention of how we show up. So look at your hands and make sure the wrist creases are parallel to the top of the mat. Then spread your fingertips nice and wide, and the hand should be outer shoulder width distance apart. So outer shoulder, draw a line down to the center of the wrist, out through the two-piece fingers. Really good. Now, walk the knees just an inch behind the hips, tuck the toes under. And you'll notice you want to play with this little tilt of the pelvis. When the tailbone goes out, the belly is really nice and soft. And then if you scooped your tailbone too far under, you would notice the belly gets hard. So let's exaggerate that. Inhale, look down and forward. This is called cow. Draw the shoulders back, press all your finger pads into the mat. And exhale, round up and in, cat pose, tailbone tucks, the belly tones. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Close your eyes and see if you can flow with your breath and try to smooth everything out so there's no jarring movement. Inhale, belly down, heart forward. Nice. And exhale, round up and in, cat pose. All right, really good. Now come back to tabletop position. A neutral spine, so find that neutral place where the pelvis is in, out or in, and then claw your finger pads into the mat. Make sure that you're pressing from your heart into your hands as you lift your hips to the sky. This is called downward facing dog. So bend your knees here. That is very important not to lock out the knees. Claw your finger pads into the mat, hug your hands towards one another, and draw from the fingertips up into your heart. And then push from your heart into your hands, stretch your hips higher to the sky. And just notice if you've lost that sense of sensitivity, of openness, of being willing to just go with the flow without judgment, without analyzing, without processing. Set that all aside and you just breathe here. So close your eyes, Ujjayi breath here, breathe in. Ujjayi breath out. 2 more. One more. You look forward and just step your feet up to the top of your mat. Feet are hip width distance or a little wider, ragdoll pose. Rest the pinkies in the crooks of opposite elbows. Let your head and neck hang super heavy. Ground through the inner edges of the feet. They want to get light. You notice you want to roll to the outside of the feet, but keep the inside of the feet heavy. Lift your hips to the sky without hyperextending your knees. And with your breath as the central focus here, inhale, exhale. Notice if you're trying to force your legs to open. All of us have tight hamstrings at one time or another, okay? So don't be hard on yourself, just breathe. If this is too much, you bring your hands to a block, support your spine, your upper body here, and just start to work your legs straight. Also, please do not feel like your legs need to be straight. Keep a juicy bend. Take one more sip of breath, breathe in, full breath out. It's called halfway lift. So Ardha Uttanasana, you pull belly, rib, spine forward. Again, you could use a block here to support you. Take your shoulders back, pull belly, rib, spine forward. Try to get a straight line through the spine, but keep the knees bent. Notice how the head wants to hang. Lift the chin here so the neck is strong also on all sides as we consider the neck a part of the spine. Take one breath here. Stay soft, stay open, release the judgment. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper into yourself. Now keep the knees bent and come all the way up, all the way up. Reach up to the sky. It's called Urdhva Hastasana, okay? Notice how maybe the tailbone wants to be too far out or you're too tucked under. Think of creating a straight line through the spine. Reach up and find that place of effort and ease, right? Engagement and surrender. We want to find the sweet spot, the middle path, and that's where we can be as open and expansive as possible. Take a deep breath. Hands come together at your heart space and just pause. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. And just come back to being open-minded and open-hearted, trusting the flow of the practice. Without judgment, without evaluation, without assigning meaning or needing to process. Just be with yourself. Be with what is. One more breath. Full breath out. Release your hands to the sky. We go back to what we call Urdhva Hastasana. Look up, reach up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Hands to the mat. We've been here before. Now, Ardha Uttanasana. Lift halfway up. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to a high plank position and drop your knees immediately to the mat. So claw the finger pads into the mat. Keep a long line through the spine. Work your core on all sides. Notice how the head wants to dip. Keep the head up, palate back, chin lifted. And now shift forward slightly so that the heart is open and stretching forward. And then slowly lower all the way to the mat. Good. Tops of the feet are onto the earth. Stretch your big toes back. Claw the finger pads into the earth. Pull your hands back so that the spine lengthens out of the waist and start to come up into what we call low cobra. So I personally do not like my elbows squeezed to the side of my body. Part of this practice is creating that open torso. We call it inner body bright and full. And that is from your hips to your armpits. How long and full can you make it without collapsing, without sacrificing alignment everywhere else? So notice if your feet went soft, keep your legs engaged. And fill up from the hips to the armpits. Take your shoulders back. Take a deep breath in. Come all the way down to your mat as you breathe out. Tuck your toes under. You can either keep the knees down. I encourage you. Press up to a high plank modified position with the knees down. And then go up and back, downward dog. Beautiful. Close your eyes. And skip the processing, skip the evaluating, skip the mental story, and dive right into the flow of your breath. Eyes closed. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Like oceanic waves. Inhale. Exhale. Get lost in your breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Look forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Maybe you need a few steps. That's cool. Inhale. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Keep the knees nice and juicy. Exhale, Uttanasana folds. Inhale, rise. Urdhva Hastasana, look up. Reach up. Hands just to your heart as you breathe out. Keep the chin lifted, holding yourself with the dignity of who you really are, of your own spirit, of your beauty and your brilliance, of your gifts and talents. Remember that. Soften your skin. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Release your hands to your side. We go a little quicker. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Let the breath lead. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Breath first, then movement. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, high plank. We come to our knees. We lower Chaturanga to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra, heart lifts. Exhale, press up and back, knees to the earth in transition. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Eyes closed, inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale. Into the flow of the breath, inhale. Exhale. Now we look forward, inhale, rise to the balls of the feet. Exhale, step, top of the mat. Do you notice it's always breath first, then movement? Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, look up, reach up. Exhale, samastitihi, standing at attention. It's a breath practice and then a posture practice. The breath, when you're breathing consistently, and that's your focus, I guarantee you will be open in your mind and your heart. Out of the drama of the mind, out of the processing and analyzing of the mind, the judgment of the mind, and into the breath. That can only be right here, right now, not in the past, not in the future. Your breath is in the now. Step into that. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, knees to the mat. Chaturanga modified. Inhale, Cobra. Lift your chest, shoulders back. Exhale, knees to the earth. Transition, downward facing dog. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale. All right, look forward. Rise to the balls of the feet. Inhale, exhale, step, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. It changes, okay? Exhale, step your feet together, touch the earth, sit low. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Okay, so the feet can be together, or if you prefer feet hip width distance. Honestly, I like both given the day, so you do you. If the feet are hip width distance, make sure the second toe is in line with the center of the ankle and sit back. So again, playing with that positioning of the pelvis. So not too far out, not too far tucked under, but just right. It's Goldilocks principle. Reach up and breathe. So you may start to feel like your openness, your willingness to be with what is, starts to decrease. But when things get difficult, that's why we need to go back again to first principle. It is always most important. Nothing else matters if you're closed. Nothing matters. Whether it's a pose here on the mat, you're still doing chair, right? Nothing matters if you are closed. You got to go back. Can't have a conversation if you're closed. You can't have an expression at work or do a presentation if you're closed. You always got to be open. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and fold Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen the spine, step your left toes back to the mat, knee to the earth. Pause. So you may feel like your back knee needs to be a little further back or a little further forward depending on where you stepped back. The right foot might need to toe heel out slightly to the right so that you can come up into a lunge pose. Okay, good. So interlace your hands onto your thigh and just give yourself a little forward and back. And then rise up. So hands can stay at the hips if you'd like. Tailbone under, low belly up and in. Reach up. How's your breath? Focus on your right foot stamping into the mat and how long your spine can be, how full your breath can be, and how open your mind and heart can be. Take one more cycle. Hands to the mat. And then just rock back to a half split. So flex your foot. Make sure the back thigh is perpendicular. If you need to use a block here, hello, that can be your friend. Flex your foot, pull belly rib spine forward. Make sure that the right foot is still activated. It's not like doing something funky or going to sleep. Spine is long and supported on all sides. Take one more breath. All right, really good. We come forward, plant your hands into the mat, step back to your knees, Chaturanga. Cobra, hands to the mat, lift your chest, step or press back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Step your left foot forward, right knee to the mat, and feel free to move your knee maybe a little bit to the right or move your left foot, and then rise up, Anjaneyasana. We call this low lunge. Hands to the hips if you need a little bit more stability. Drag your knee forward so you're on top of the knee, not the kneecap itself, and then rise up. Keep your legs hugging to the midline for stability, but also think about just releasing the pelvis down to the mat so that you're not holding on too tightly. Take a deep breath. One more. Hands to the earth, rock back, half splits. Flex your foot, pull belly, rib, spine forward. Again, use the block if you need to here. Keep your foot flexed. Spine is long, shoulders are back, and notice how you want to retreat into the head, that you want to forget about anything. You want to think about anything other than the breath. Breath practice. The breath will keep you open. The breath will keep you present. One more sip. All right, look forward, lunge forward, and step up and fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, so we're gonna go that breath to movement. You've got it. It's a little quicker, but just stay with me, okay? Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Exhale, touch the earth, sit low. Breath, pay attention to the breath, guys. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step your right toes way back onto the mat. Knee to the earth. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, rock back, half splits. Exhale, fold over the leg. Breath first. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, low lunge, step back, lower to the belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, through the knees, push, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward, knee to the mat. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Focus on the breath, that's it. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, rock back, half splits. Get lost in your flow. Close your eyes and fold with your breath out. Inhale, pull belly, rib, spine forward, look forward. Exhale, lunge forward and step up, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Listen, it goes chair plane, sweep arms, sweep back. Inhale, chair. Exhale, chair plane. You've got it. One more. Inhale. Chair plane. I know, feel the burn. Now inhale, reach up. Work your feet a little bit wider. It's okay that the feet are wide. The toes just can't turn out, okay? Hands to your hips. Play with that tilt of the tailbone here. So not too much out, not too far forward. Find your sweet spot and now open your heart. Close your eyes. So this is not a back bend. I don't want you to think about it as a back breaker, but a heart opener, okay? So soften through your heart. Think of your shoulder blades supporting the backside of your heart to open, to blossom, to grow, to evolve. Come into the breath. Escape the evaluation and judgment and be with yourself. Accept yourself fully and completely for where you are, right here, right now, here for 3. Bigger, fuller breath, more open the longer we're here. For 2, you're amazing. This is it. Inhale, reach up to the sky, hands to your heart. Maybe even fold your hands to cradle your heart. Close your eyes, bow your chin to your chest, and just a moment with yourself. Soften your skin, meet the moment. Not for what it should be, not for what you're telling yourself it means, but open to meeting the moment for what it is. One with your breath, one with the moment, one with yourself. This is yoga. All right, inhale, reach up, Urdhva, Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, come down to your knees. You did a really great job today. This was such a great way to begin the practice. I'd like you to just skip ahead to the next song. And then sit over onto your hip, and we're going to take Baddha Konasana, okay? So pick up your glute and roll your inner thigh in and down, and then do the same to the other side, and press the inner edges of your feet together. And then lengthen your spine forward, so you're not just going to collapse and round, and you're not going to push your legs down either. We don't need to force. Yoga is about being. We got to be open to the moment and just be with what is, without assigning meaning, telling it, some expert analysis or judging or evaluating. Just be open to being with yourself and the moment just as it is. All right. Take a few more breaths. And then for the last few rounds of breath, if you would like, you can just round forward. I see how I put my head to a block here. You can do that. All right, extend your legs out long. Palms face up, put a little bend in your knees. Okay, long spine, engaged core. We're gonna lower. I'm with you. 5, yes. 3, 2, stretch your arms overhead. Really good, really good. So stretch from fingertips to toe tips. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. We come back to where we started. Feet are flat onto the mat. And just let your knees rock side to side. So we've come full circle. But wow, can you notice a difference in your energetic makeup, how you feel in your body, your mind, your heart? There was nothing crazy about the practice. I truly hope you didn't force yourself into anything that didn't feel right. Yoga really teaches us that it's the middle path that brings us back to our center. not extreme, but the middle path, little by little, again and again, and the consistency of that brings us home. All right, one final squeeze, maybe forehead to your knees, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then the sweetest part, in my opinion, Savasana. Let your legs extend out long, palms face open. Nestle your shoulder blades behind your heart. Close your eyes. Let your breath to become natural. Soften any place that's still hard. And before we go any further, clench your fists really, 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 really tight. And now just open them. And see if you can open any place within you, just like you just did. Open those clenched fists within your heart and in your mind. Just open them up. Be with what is. Be with yourself. Savasana. Take a deep breath and reach your arms overhead in a full body stretch. And then draw your knees into your chest and roll to fetal pose on your favorite side and pause. Savasana is corpse pose. It represents a death, the end of a cycle. And here we are in fetal pose, a new beginning, a rebirth. So just pause for a moment and acknowledge this transition taking place, that you are no longer that person you were before you stepped on your mat. But you are now more connected to the truth of yourself. More you. More of that brilliant, beautiful you. Press up to seated. Bring your hands In Anjali Mudra at your heart, close your eyes, bow your head to your heart. May you remember in every moment the power and the potency, the importance of being open. Being open to the reality of the moment, not what the mind tells you the moment is about. Come back again and again to soft mind, soft heart, and open to the flow of your life. Inhale your thumbs to your third eye center. Together we bow forward and say, Namaste.